What up, cuckolds? It's your boy, The Hater, up in this mug. And this is a video that's going beyond the 25 Reasons videos because it's something that I believe does not get enough attention. So AEW drew 502,000. Now, thank God for those 2,001 people that tipped the scales over 500,000. I'll have you be reminded by myself. And I made this prediction many months ago. I said in a few months, they're dipping under 500,000, and they will. You're gonna see in the next few weeks, or maybe the next few months. Maybe they'll bounce back up a little bit, right? Now, here's the thing. The best part about this is that their argument was, oh, we didn't have the normal lead-in of Big Bang Theory. I don't know what the logic was behind saying this, because Big Bang Theory reruns draw like a few 100,000 people. So what they're saying basically is, oh, we sure as shit can't draw 502,000 by ourselves. We need the lead-in, right? And if we had the lead-in, it would have been 600,000. The lead-in was some Marvel dork movie or something, right? And it's like, think about that. Think about what they're saying. They're saying if we have, like, imagine if they had no lead-in. Like the network is just black and then AEW starts. They'd get like 200,000 views. You know what I mean? They would get nobody. They'd be doing TNA numbers. You know, it's very important what network you're on. Right? So SmackDown, for example, gets better viewership than Raw because Raw is on the USA Network, which every few months, like, shows the movie U.S. Marshals like 4 times in a row. People don't really like the U.S. Network. Fox is a much bigger network, right? They get much more share. You could put anything on Fox and it'll do better than almost anything on USA. That's why TNA back in the heyday was amazing because they were on Spike Network, which was like the TNT ripoff, or TNT or TNN, I don't remember. TNN, I think it was, right? They rebranded as Spike, which was like the men's network, right? And they were able to carry themselves in that network. But anyways, I digress. The point here isn't even about the ratings of AEW. The point here is more broad. The point is about the sad state of wrestling and how people have just accepted that wrestling can never draw like it did before. In my opinion, this is a defeatist mentality, and it's really dumb. One of my personal life heroes, Eric Cantona from France, he was a soccer player for those that don't know, he famously said, I don't care if my team loses 5-3 as long as I score 3 goals. So we need a little bit of Eric Cantona in our lives, motherfucks. And that's what's missing. That passion, that drive to be number one. That is encapsulated only by Vince McMahon and Vince Russo and maybe a little bit Eric Bischoff. The vast majority of these people are losers. Let's be real. Triple H is a loser. Tony Khan is a loser. And if things were completely even, they would never make it as far as they have in WWE. I'm not saying Triple H slept his way to the top. I don't really believe that. He is a talented wrestler, that goes without saying. But when it was time for Vince McMahon to pick a successor, he was the only one that was viable. Shane McMahon is out there like being the CEO of some bullshit company, coming back and leaving. Stephanie McMahon, I mean, it could have been her, but it wasn't. So there you have it. Triple H is the only one left, really, right? So with all that being said, why is it that the people like Triple H and people like Tony Khan and whoever the hell is in charge of TNA at this point, they're okay with these breadcrumbs? Why don't they do what other successful CEOs have done and grow their brand consistently? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hater, WWE is recording record profits. And that's true. That is also a consequence of the savvy of Vince McMahon. When the WWE Network was launched, it was the first of its kind. It was the first of its kind, motherfucks, because the WWE is not a network. The WWE is an organization. It's not like if Paramount decides to do Paramount Plus, right, where they have a library of hundreds of movies and they're a production company. It's not like that, right? It's not like Hulu or Netflix, which curate the work of other people and also now finance their own shit, usually through curation, by the way. The WWE Network this is all belonging to WWE, and we have so much shit because we've been so successful that we have the balls to charge you $9.99 a month or whatever the fuck it was when they started, right, to see all this again. And it was a massive success. No one else has done that because no one else can. But once Vince McMahon did it, all of a sudden, you see Peacock, you see Paramount Plus, you see Disney Plus, right? People that should have done it first. The savvy of Vince McMahon is what has kept this company afloat and profitable for decades. It sure as shit is not Triple H wanting to open NXT UK, which was a complete drain of resources that failed miserably. And then he's like, I want to open NXT Asia. What's that going to do? Nobody gives a fuck. He doesn't understand at all what he's supposed to be doing. Vince McMahon was the reason why the company was doing well. Now, aside from Vince McMahon, there are other considerations, obviously, right? People seem to be under this impression that nobody's watching TV anymore. Oh, they only get 1.3 million viewers, but their YouTube video has 20 million hits. Bro, sometimes I go on YouTube and like I put on a YouTube short and I brush my teeth. And the YouTube short plays like 8 times. That's 8 views. They don't count the same, motherfucks. I'm not paying attention. I skip the ads on YouTube. Everyone skips the ads. Don't skip my ads, motherfucks. Actually, as a matter of fact, please don't skip my ads. Let's see if it makes a difference for, well, not this video. You probably already skipped them, you fucks. But maybe next video, anyone listening, don't skip my ads, and I'll let you know if it performs better. You know, we'll see. Anyways, the point is, we have pretty much accepted this decline, which is not natural, right? It's understandable that other forms of media are going to interfere, right? There's, of course, some people who are like, well, I don't really want to watch Raw because it's 3 hours, so I think I'll just watch the highlights on YouTube. There's some of those, but best believe, motherfucks, if the stuff that was on TV, and I speak for myself, if we had the Attitude Era right now, there's nothing I would do but watch the Attitude Era. I would stop everything I'm doing and I would watch the Attitude Era. You see what I'm saying? The product is inferior. And that's fine. Things ebb and flow. But the reality is the reality that wrestling, the WWE, all the other companies, and more importantly, the fans, have fallen into this weird situation where they just accept. They're like, well, it'll never draw that much again. Why the fuck not, motherfucks? Big Bang Theory draws that much. Fucking Walking Dead draws that much. It draws more. Walking Dead draws like 10 million people when it was on, like in its prime, right? Fucking Monday Night Football is a great example. Why is Monday Night Football, where the outcome is unknown, drawing more than Raw? Think about that for a second. I don't care who you are. You could be the biggest NFL fan of all time. You're never going to convince me that an awesome episode of Monday Night Raw during its heyday is less entertaining than the best NFL game ever. Except, okay, maybe like the Patriots over the Falcons. That was insane. But beyond that, right? You're not gonna convince me of this. It's not possible for you to convince me of this. And you sure as shit aren't gonna convince me that the fucking NBA playoffs are more interesting. Absolutely not. Like, back in the day, nobody gave a shit about, like, once Michael Jordan went out, you know, nobody gave a fuck. Like, who was the champion after that? Was it the Knicks? It was the Knicks or the Spurs, right? They're like, oh, Tim Duncan all of a sudden became a star. People started saying his name. You know, nobody gave a shit. People were watching wrestling, though. It was in the mainstream. And that's what bothers me. It's this idea that it's okay for this to happen. No, motherfucks, you failed. You had 8 million viewers, and you're down to 1.3. And people, like, they celebrate. They're like, oh, wow, CM Punk came back and Raw got 500,000. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? 500,000 is nothing in TV. Yeah, it sounds like a lot when it's pretty much the entire viewing audience of AEW, but it is nothing in the world of TV. It is a big zilch. You're not a draw if you bring in 500,000 people. You're absolutely not. Because almost every show outperforms this. Oh, but Hater, Raw is number 1 on cable TV. They manipulate those metrics up the ass. They take the peak, right? And they assume that the peak goes for the whole time. And then they take the whole time and they say, well, we had 3 hours and we still did this many numbers, right? It's the same kind of manipulation as other things. There's no fucking way that on any given, I mean, Mondays are kind of dry, but like, if you watch like Survivor, for example, which is on Wednesdays, like Survivor gets like 6 million views. There's no way. They're like, AEW's like, oh, we're number 1 in cable. No, you're not. No, you're fucking not. It's 0 chance. Survivor outdraws you by 10 times. You know what I'm saying? So get the fuck out of here. And it's not just that. All this other shit like Love Island, all these other things, they all outdraw. You know? They all outdraw. Deal or No Deal Island, it's like everybody outdraws wrestling. You know? Deal or No Deal Island, I think, was on Mondays, and it did way better. It got like 7 million viewers. You know? So there you have it, cucks. The problem here is not, oh, wrestling has changed. The problem is wrestling has gotten worse. And the sooner the better. You know, once in a while, the McMahons, they flirt with this notion. They're like, you know, you have those moments, like that was that one time when all 4 of them came out and they're like, things are going to change around here. Nothing changed, right? Once in a while, you'll have like CM Punk being like, I'm here to create change. Nothing changed. Kevin Owens is like, I'm here to create change. Nothing changed. It's just a bunch of talk and no action. People want cool shit. I don't know why this is so difficult to explain, right? Nothing is cool anymore. And that's the problem, cucks. With that being said, the hater will be bouncing right now.